Closed captioning for Delmarva Life is brought to you by Maryland Relay.
It is easy to take our ability to take advantage of telecommunications access for granted. For many of us, it's just something we do every single day.
We do every day. And the state of Maryland is working diligently to provide services that make that access easy for everyone, you included. Conference calls, for example, that's the facet of the communications that's about to get a very serious upgrade.
And who better to give us the rundown than Rebecca Miller? She is an outreach coordinator with Maryland Relay. Thank you, Rebecca, for being here this afternoon.
Having me.
So for those who are unfamiliar with Maryland Relay, what do you do?
So Maryland Relay is a free public service, and we are through Telecommunications Access of Maryland through Maryland's Department of Disabilities. And what we do is we have different calling options for folks that have difficulty using a standard phone, either because they're deaf, hard of hearing, or have a speech difficulty.
All right, so let me ask you about Relay Conference Captioning Service, RCC. What's that?
Great question. So Relay Conference Captioning, or RCC, is a free public service that we offer for people who are having difficulty hearing on conference calls. And in this case, when we say conference calls, we really mean 3 or more people who are going to be in different locations.
So who can anybody utilize this? I mean, who?
Yeah, great question again. So any Maryland resident who's having difficulty using a standard phone can request RCC services. And then Maryland organizations, they can also request the services on behalf of people. For example, employees, customers, consumers. But if that's the instance, then we at Maryland Relay are going to need to verify with the user that they actually need the service.
Right, right. So with the pandemic, I mean, we had started using Zoom a whole lot. So with that, I guess conference call captioning also becomes a very needful thing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just as you said, with the pandemic, conference calls have always been a huge part of the workplace, right? We use them for pretty much everything. But then after COVID happened, they're really unavoidable. We need them for everything. Every call happens over them. And if you're someone experiencing hearing loss, that call can become very frustrating. It's a lot of different voices, kind of all talking over each other. It can be really, really hard. And even missing just a word or a phrase here and there can be very detrimental, especially for a business call. So being able to have those captions in real time is such a huge asset.
So how does RCC work exactly?
So RCC is super simple to use. There's no special downloads or software required. You do need to have a conference call bridge or a number or a link for that captioner to join in on the call. And then to view the captions, you do need something that's going to connect to the internet, either a mobile phone or a laptop, something to view those captions on. And then what you're going to do is go to our website. It's www.marylandrcc.com, and you're going to fill out what's called an RCC request form. And you're going to want to do this about 24 hours or more before you actually need the service, just to give us enough time. And then once that form is approved, you'll receive an email that has a link in that email. When your conference call starts, you're going to open your conference call like you normally would. The captioner's already going to be on there, ready to caption what everyone's saying in real time. You're going to click on that link, and that's what's going to bring those captions up for you.
Oh, wow.
Does it work with video conference call?
So absolutely, and that's one of the best things about it is it's so versatile. It can work with Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, WebEx, really any of those platforms. You're just going to want to make sure that when you fill out that form, you do put a link on there so that way the captioner knows where they're going.
Right.
Are there any restrictions to who can use RCC?
So there are a few restrictions. It is only meant for web platforms. So in-person events, hybrid events, it's not going to work for those. And then there's certain organizations like the federal government, court hearings, educational systems. Those folks are actually required by law to provide either an American Sign Language interpreter or their own CART captioning services. And RCC is not meant to be a replacement for those services.
Yeah.
Rebecca Miller with Maryland Relay. That's very fascinating. Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And if you would like more information, you can go again to www.marylandrcc.com. You'll find all the detailed instructions and that form that we talked about.